What is up? Welcome to the video. We're getting into it. Starting off with some sprints. So over here at the field, I will say the weather, it's getting a little colder out. I mean, it's not cold yet, it's still 70s. But you know that fall brisk weather is coming. Oh man, I don't want to not be able to pop the top when I sprint. You know, that's one of the beauties of this. Usually it's sunny out. You usually get a free tan while you're sprinting. But yeah, that cold weather's coming. But for the actual workout today, warm it up, go through all the drills. I don't know if I'll film all the drills today, but essentially do a dynamic warm up. I'll do a bunch of like prep drills. And then the main gist, I'm gonna do 640s today. I'm either gonna do 640s or like 930s. I kinda wanna go longer sprints, just go all out because I got this sweet new toy right here. And I'll show it a little more, but this is a GPS tracker. It's called a FirePod, but it tracks your max speed. So I finally have something to use to track my speed because, you know, obviously in the weight room, when I'm lifting, I can, you know, you throw more weight on, you know, you're getting better. But with speed, it's hard. Obviously, you can't dictate it unless you have some. So super excited to get to use this, but we'll get into the session. Legs are feeling pretty good. Let's run some fast sprints. All right, just finished that warm up. Didn't end up recording it, but I'll put some videos right here. So I ended up doing those triple switches with a hold, single switches with a switch or a skip at the top, scissor builds, and then straight leg bounds into sprints. I don't want to jinx it, but the hammies, we are feeling good, fellas. We are feeling good today. Also, this thing might be the coolest thing ever. I've only done 2 warm-ups and I get my speed back immediately. So I'm actually changing up the session. I'm gonna go 3 flying sprints. So I'm gonna build up speed for 30 yards, hit it as fast as possible for 10 yards, do 3 of those. And then after that, rip a bunch of 30s or 40s. We'll see how we feel, but whew, gotta take advantage of it. Let's go. Oh, when you feel good, you feel good and you take advantage of it. I actually end up doing 8 flying sprints, just ripping it. I don't know if you guys have ever felt this before, but like your hamstring lower glute, when you hit that top speed, sometimes it feels like you have a jetpack attached, like this little extra boost. That's how I was feeling during these sprints. Oh my God, I felt amazing. I'm excited to see the data on this sucker, see how fast I get. I'll show it when I look at it, but yeah, I was like, might as well take advantage of it. I was gonna do 3 and then do some 30s or 40s, but end up ripping 8 of those suckers. Now, it's a pretty aggressive approach. Please don't do that if you're new to sprinting, but God, it just feels great to sprint fast and feel freaking good. Yeah, the hammies and the glutes, man. I feel it in the hammies. Later today, I got some heavy RDLs, so we'll see how those feel, but just finished sprints, so I'll do some plyos now. I'm just gonna do some alternating bounds. So remember bounds, you're thinking of like an exaggerated run, almost like a gazelle or a deer running, how they run, they like gallop, you know, try to get horizontal and vertical. Great plyometric. I'll probably go 30 yards, 3 sets. And then I think I'm gonna do some continuous broad jumps. So on each sprint day, I try to do some like plyos after. And then when I start my lift, I'll jump to start it. But usually the plyos out here, I try to do more like bounds or power skips or continuous tuck jumps, continuous broad jumps, stuff like that. And then when I go to the gym and I lift, before I do legs, I'll do like a seated jump or a kneeling jump, something that's more of a jump as opposed to a plyometric. So we'll get into these bounds here, fellas, but whew, when you feel good, you freaking feel good. All right, finish those bounds. Now I'm gonna finish with some continuous broad jumps. I got 15 yards marked out right here. Let's see if you can see that cone. Yep. So our goal is to try to get there 5 jumps. 9, 18, 27, 36. That'll be 9 feet per jump. Let's do the 5. Let's go. Oh, easy. That was easy. It was like 47. Or, yeah, 47 feet. Good jumps. All right, just finished that sprint session. Man, I was feeling freaking awesome. Just feels good to feel good when you're working out. But those felt fast, felt freaking athletic. Hammies felt good. So yeah, it was a solid sprint session. You can go home, eat, and then a couple hours, freaking demolish some legs. So obviously like sprinting early in the day before I hit legs. And I separate the 2 sessions, but time bearing, you can do them right back to back. That's what I did for the longest time. I'll just go straight from the field, straight to the gym. But now I got some more time, I separate the 2, get a little rest in between, a little food. But yeah, usually doesn't really infringe on it. Obviously, if you're doing like an excessive amount, it might infringe on your leg day, but if anything, it should help because it should prime your legs. You should actually feel pretty good heading into it. Now, obviously, it's all about the dosage and not doing too much, but for the most part, if you can hit your sprints before, it is a great way to do it because hit some sprints, you feel fast, and then you get to demolish some legs. So obviously you don't want to sprint after your leg day because your legs will be dead, and then probably the day after your leg day, you're gonna be sore, even 2 days after. So generally the day of or the day before, if you can, is when I would sprint. But sprinting is so fun. Look, if you're trying to find ways to do cardio or anything, that's a great way to do it, sprinting. You know, you get to go outside, pop the top. I know it's obviously getting colder now. Well, it's still fall, it's still warm. But take advantage of it. It is fun to do. Gradually build your way up, feel athletic again. But stop by Kroger, get some food. I'll show you the next meal. All right, we're back. Meal number 2. Might be a weird combo, but I'm excited. Jasmine rice, a ton of bell pepper and onion, easy fillers. I love bell pepper and onion. It's like 100 calories, like 70 calories maybe, and it's so much volume of food, it fills you up. And I got like 9 ounces of this chicken thigh. And then I got this. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff on this, the Primal Kitchen buffalo sauce. 25 calories for 1 tablespoon. I'm freaking stoked. So let's put that in there. Oh, it's thick. It's a thick boy. Probably go 2 tablespoons. Actually, probably don't even need that much. Looks good. All right, that looks good enough. That was about, I guess it was 2 tablespoons. Over 2 tablespoons, but let's see how this tastes. It looks pretty good. Oh my God, that is most definitely it. That is, it doesn't take much to satisfy us. Chicken rice with a little sauce on it. Really, it is. All you just need a little sauce, and the ultimate bro meal. Time tested. Can't go wrong with it. But it's like 850 calories, 64 grams protein, 111 carbs. But that sauce is kicking. Not in a hot way, but it's just good. It mixes well. So, God, I love flavor. But it's a good meal. Meal number 2. All right, at the gym now, leg day. Let's get it. It's time to get into it. We'll start some seated jumps, and then full cleans, RDLs, pause squats, hand supported reverse lunges, and glute hand raises and calf raises. So with my cleans, this is my 2nd week on this. So last week I did 5 sets of 3, like 82.5%. So it's like 264. So I'm gonna go 85% this week, 5 sets of 3, which is like 5 to 10 pounds heavier. It's like 272, but they have kilo plates here, so I gotta do the math. And then RDL last week I did 886655. This week I'm gonna do 866555, and I'm just gonna add 10 pounds to the 8 from last week, and then 5. So it'll be pretty heavy. Just 5 because it was pretty heavy last week. And doing less reps, but a little heavier with those 3 sets of 5. Pause squats, I'm gonna go 865. I'm gonna add 5 pounds from last week. Hand supported reverse lunges, probably 3 sets of 6, add 10 pounds. But yeah, should be a good session. Get into it. Also, I realize I wear the exact same thing to the gym every day. I wear this wife beater and black shorts. I'm gonna keep wearing this wife beater every day. or I guess tank top until Gymshark sponsors me. These things are awesome. All right, let's get into the lifts. So starting the lift off with some prep work. So I've been trying to film these more. This is what I do before every leg day. I do these 3 moves. So a banded TKU, just get a heavy band, put it right behind your knee, get some tension. I'll go 15 reps each side, and then I'll do this called a Copenhagen plank. So really good for your adductors, hips, kind of bulletproof and a prehab in that area. I'll hold it for 20 seconds each side. Now, if that straight leg version is a little too tough, you can do a bent knee on the bench, kind of work your way up. And then third move was just a single leg glute bridge, warming up the glutes, hamstrings, holding for a second at the top, 10 reps there. And I'll go through that 2 times to really prime me. And then we got into it, starting with some seated jumps here. So this hurdle setup is awesome. It's elite. Grab yourself a foam roller, usually about 36 inches, and then some plates and build it up. As you can see, you knock it over, you just set it right back up. There's nothing wrong with that. So did 5 sets of 3, ended up getting up to 44 inches. For the last 3 sets on this one, my butt grazed at the top. It still counts as a clean rep. We come back and we freaking get it. We finish it strong. Felt good. And then got into some cleans here. So with my cleans, I haven't been prioritizing them as much as before. I used them twice a week. Now I'm just doing them kind of once a week. And I've definitely lost a lot of strength in them, but working the way back up. So it's like 272, doing it for sets of 3. And I'll say the first 2 sets felt pretty rough. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'll get these 5 sets. As this is the second set here, I missed that first rep. And man, the reason I kept this video is because when I was younger, if I missed a rep, I used to get so frustrated that it would almost derail my session. Especially if it was a weight I know I could get, I'd miss a rep and I'd almost I would get so pissed off that that mindset would travel to the rest of the session. Nowadays, obviously, I'm older, I'm a little wiser, so I don't get as frustrated. I knew I missed a rep just because of technical, so took a second, rested a little bit, and then went back for those 3 reps. But really just shows try not to get too frustrated if you miss a rep. I used to it would have this catastrophic mindset where it's I missed a rep. It's oh, I'm a failure. This whole session's a waste. And then it would get into my brain, and then I would end up not having a good session. But you know what we did there? We missed that rep. We said, let's go get those 3. We know we can get it. And I swear from that set on, the rest of the session was just butter. Moved easy. I felt kind of tired going in. And then from there on out, it was just ripping weight, feeling good, not overthinking it. So I was super happy with that. So 5 sets here. Here's a little side angle. My cleans, still got to work on the catch, but that's always been something with me. I think with cleans, they're a really technical move, and I think a lot of people don't do them because of that, but you can get it doesn't take long to learn the benefits of cleaning. You don't have to have perfect Olympic weightlifting form to get the benefits of that triple extension. So it takes a little bit of time, and it's one of those moves that if you just rep it out, you eventually, you get better at it, you practice a little bit, work on some technical stuff, but I don't know, you don't need to be an Olympic lifter in them to get the benefits of it. So did 5 sets of 3 there, and then heavy freaking hinges to start the day. So on the first day of the week, my first strength move is heavy RDLs, and my second day it's squats. I kind of like this setup a little more. I used to always do squats on Monday, and I don't know, my legs always felt weaker, but my hammies always feel good. So loading pattern, I did 8, 6, 6, 5, 5, 5. So with 8, I did about 10 pounds heavier than I did last week. It was a little over 75%. With the 6s, I did a little over 80%, and then with the 5s, I did 82.5%. I'll tell you what, you want a strong posterior chain, you want some strong glutes and hamstrings, do your heavy RDLs. Get straps, because don't limit your grip to your hamstrings. Your hamstrings are a million times stronger than your grip, so make sure you're wearing straps. Even a belt helps a lot, so I love wearing those. And then when on these hinges, just trying to keep that bar close, think about pushing your butt back, coming to that mid-shin height, and they'll get you feeling good. They'll pump those hammies and glutes up, that lower back. Great movement, treat it as a compound. Again, from last week, all I did for this whole session, I literally just added 5 pounds. Did the same reps, added 5 pounds. That's what progressive overload is all about, baby. Just find small ways to manipulate it, whether that's adding a little bit of weight, adding more reps, adding more sets. The name of the game is trying to get better session to session. So same thing with squats. I did 8, 6, 5, just 3 sets. I like doing this pause squat. I don't know, I've always enjoyed pause squats. I'm like, I can almost like pause squat like 95% of my regular squat. I just feel comfortable in the bottom, sitting there for 2 seconds. And I don't know, these are just really good because it really forces you. Obviously, you have to drive out the hole going from a dead stop, but really got to think about pushing through your heels, and it'll blow your quads up, that pause, because you just got to push straight back up. So I did, it's like 370 for 8, and then for 6, and then 5, I just added 5 pounds from the previous week. That's all it is. Name of the game, micro increases. That's what we're all about. But yeah, pause squats, very good movement. As I'm doing my main squats on Thursday, so I like squatting twice a week. Squatting's my favorite move. It's the lift I care the most about and being strong in, so I'm always going to squat twice a week just because of a pride thing. It's fun to do. So with pause squats, they're not as mentally daunting as the regular squats, so for some reason I can just I don't get as psyched out with them, so I can kind of just rip through them, and I'll use weights that are pretty close to my regular squat for similar reps, which is kind of weird, but nonetheless, good exercise. With the leg training, I like doing some sort of hinge, a squat, and then a heavy single leg, and then a bunch of accessory work. Obviously on this day, I did a bunch of sprinting, jumping, cleans. So a lot of volume, and that's the way I like to train. Especially with legs, I used to do legs 5 days a week when I was younger. So I like doing a lot of volume here, and I think I've gotten used to doing a lot of volume. So, this session takes about close to 2.5 hours. So it's a long one, but it's fun. You're just lifting heavy weights, resting, lifting heavy weights, resting. And that's why I love lifting. I'm a lifter at heart. That's what I do. I lift weights, baby. And it's just the funnest thing in the world to rip a weight, rest, rip a weight, rest. It's not like endurance running where you're just standing there and you're continuously doing something. It's that start and stop, which I freaking love. And then we got these hand-supported reverse lunges. These are naughty. These are crazy. They are great, though. I've been doing these in hand-supported Bulgarian split squats on my other day. You can load these suckers. I'm using 410 here because that bar weighs 70. So 410 for sets of 6 each leg. If I was doing a regular reverse lunge, I'd probably be using 310. So can use 100 pounds more. Obviously, you get that hand assistance, so it's a little easier, but it takes away the stability factor, which a lot of the time, especially with a single leg movement, especially if you're new to it, the whole time you're thinking about the stability, you don't really get much of the movement. So I was kind of tired of that, and I wanted to find a new variation. So hand supported, best of both worlds. Take away the stability, can overload it, and it will blow your freaking legs up. I like doing a reverse lunge one day, kind of more glute, and then the hand supported Bulgarian split squats on the other day, which will demolish my quads. Oh my God. I got to do that in 2 days. I'm already kind of dreading it because I know the pain it is. If you know, Bulgarian split squats are always those tough movements that just light you up. And then I'd finish with some glute ham raises here. So some of the glute ham raises, I'm going to insert a video from when I used to do them. I used to think the farther up on the pad, the better. But then I watched a video, and you want your knees to be right in line at the bottom of that pad. Because as you see in this other video, when I used to do them, I used to be so far up, and if you look, I would drive back with my glutes, and then my upper back would come up. So on this one, I'm trying to be nice and straight and try to make it all one move, as opposed to pushing back and then coming up. So pushed it back a little more, and I've been liking it, and then really trying to focus on just coming straight to parallel, straight in the hamstring, and then coming up as one and not as 2. So changed that up, did sets of 8 there, and then just finished with a single leg calf raise. So calf raises, again, hand supported. You don't want stability to get in the way of that. This, you just hold on some. You do this on a step, you do this anywhere, wherever you can get elevation, but big thing, you're just driving down, then that heel, that's where you want that stretch. Heel coming to the bottom, driving up on that toe. I'm just using 70 pounds there, and it'll lit me up for 12 reps each leg. I don't know, I was watching a video of my calves. I got some pretty small calves. So I might start up to pumping out calf raises more than twice a week. Maybe get up to those 3 to 4 times a week and just annihilate them. But calves, I usually do this, or we have this belt squat machine I'll do them on, which I really enjoy, but just setting that up, it's 3 plates each side. So I'll do this one just because I'm already in the back room. But it's a great calf exercise nonetheless. Really stretching at the bottom. But that's full lift there. It was a great leg day. It was a meaty leg day, but that's the way we freaking like it. All right, just finished that lift. That was a great lift. It was one of those ones that's like, I didn't have to get super psyched up. Like usually on leg days, I get like super amped up. It was one of those where I was hitting everything. It started off, I kind of felt like a little, I was like, oh, maybe I overdid the sprints. And then once I got into it, felt good. RDLs, heavy hinges. That's the setup on this day. Heavy RDLs. I love doing a squatting twice a week. So I like doing my main squat on Thursday later in the week. But I always like doing some sort of accessory, and I love pause squats for some reason. Just always liked them sitting in the bottom. I feel a lot more in my quads. You know, you sit in that pause position, you gotta go from a dead stop, push up, and then loving those hand supported reverse lunges. Well, not loving them because they suck, but loving the movement, the loading those up. But they are hard, they are heavy, and doing that on that day, and then the Bulgarian split squats on the other. But good session. RDLs, I treat that as a compound movement. I don't conventional deadlift. I've always just, I don't know, I never did. I always cleaned and RDL'd. So those are the movements I want to prioritize on this day. And then my second day, I really prioritize my squat and then split squat. So legs are feeling good. A lot of volume. Look, I do a lot of volume. I've always trained that way. But took a lot of time to get there. You know, don't ease into it. Take your time. Do what works for you. But otherwise, it was getting me excited in the gym because the gym I go to, it's sick. It's got this grungy vibe, as you can tell in the videos. Everything's all black. It's got this like metal vibe that I love, and it just gets me excited for winter time because it's just, you know, I associate lifting with different seasons, like the way I lift. Like, you know, it's fun. I love lifting in the summer. I love lifting in the spring. Love lifting in the fall. But that winter arc, if you know, you know. There's nothing better than like when it's cold, it's dark out, you go to the gym, you just get fired up, you lift some heavy fucking weights. It takes me back to my parents' garage. I remember like 5 o'clock during the winter, I would just sit there. That's when I would start lifting. It'd be dark out, and the garage would be like 40 degrees. I would just be in sweatpants, like a hoodie, and I'd just be freaking ripping some weight. It takes me back to that. I love the winter arc time. Obviously, I don't want the weather to change. It is nice right now, but there's just something about lifting in the winter time. So kind of got me excited for that. Just that vibe. But anyways, yeah, we'll wrap the video up here. Appreciate everyone watching. So my goal is, I've been uploading twice a week. I love making YouTube videos. Like, these are so fun to make. So I think I'm gonna try to go 3 to 4 times a week. And I maybe have a new series coming out. I've been calling this the Powerjacked series, but the next one might be a little different because tomorrow I'm getting something I'll show it in the next video. Super excited for it, but it'll make my training goals a little different. It'll make things a little more fun. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.